watching closely.
What's the secret, Max?
You just gotta find something you love to do and then do it for the rest of your life.
I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Hello, and welcome to The Establishing Shot, a podcast where we do deep dives into directors and their filmographies. I am your host, Eli Price, and we are here on episode 110 of the podcast. And yeah, we had a great conversation last week with Rosalyn Hernandez coming on for the post. Had a great time doing that with her, and I thought it would be a good idea to do an old movie draft, run it back. We did, along with the French Dispatch. Inside of that episode, we did a writers in movies draft, and so I thought that would pair well with this. My guest for that episode was Kara Smith. We had a great time doing this draft, and yeah, now this has its own episode, so it's been fun to go back since I've reformatted the show to where movie drafts are their own episodes, and kind of pull the movie drafts out of those and bring them back. So go back and listen to that conversation about the post with Rosalyn. This week we're gonna dive into a movie draft about writers of movies. We were kind of flexible with that, as I think I'll explain in this episode, of who can be considered a writer in a movie. We had a little bit of fun with that, but yeah, I hope you enjoy this movie draft.
Hi. Quick reminder that you can be a huge help to the production of this show. If you visit establishingshotpod.com/donate, you'll find out how to join the Establishing Shot family through some giving tiers starting as low as $5 a month. You heard that right, only $5 a month. And not only will you be helping me keep the show going, but you'll also get some perks yourself, like early and ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, access to a Discord server where we can chat it up about the show and movies in general, and more. Might even let you choose a movie for me to review for the show. Check out that link in the show notes to learn more. Back to the show.
Let's go ahead and jump into our movie draft section.
Alrighty.
So yeah, kind of along with the French Dispatch theme, we're going to be drafting movies about writers in film. And so, if this is your first time tuning in, basically the movie draft is just we take turns choosing from the pool of whatever genre or, whatever you want to call it, that I've come up with for this week. So, we're going to be taking turns. Kara will take the first pick, and we'll accumulate our own team of movies from that theme. And so, and then, we'll put it out there and see who people think have the best list.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about this, I was thinking, well, I don't want to just, I don't think Wes would want to just limit it to writers of like books or magazines. So let's expand it. I said, be creative with how you think of writers, whether it's music or however you want to apply it. Let's be creative. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to draft writers in film, movies about writers.
Yeah.
And so, let's just jump right in. Kara, you're a first-time guest, so you get the first pick. So where are you going with the very first pick of the writers in film draft?
Yes. So though I am going to be taking a liberal stance on the term writer later, for my first pick, I'm going for a straight up writer. And I am choosing The Help, which is a wonderful
Okay.
classic movie, amazing acting, and about a woman who wants to show the world the perspectives of the women who help in her town and who work for families like hers. And it shows her her writing process. It shows her trying to get the book made. It shows the book coming to fruition and supporting these people changing their lives. And so a true writer, a wonderful movie, and a great one to go back and watch if you haven't watched it in a while. I hadn't seen it in so long, and I saw it the other day because it just happened to, pop up as like a suggestion. And I was like, this is such a good movie. So funny, so sweet, so heartbreaking. It's all of the things.
Yeah. It is a really good movie. I enjoy that one. And it does have it has some very funny moments and also like some very like emotionally affecting moments. Yeah, that's a really good one. And I don't even know, I don't think I had it on my list, but I don't know why. It feels like it should have come up when I was looking, but yeah, not on my list, unfortunately, because it should have been. Okay, so I was hoping that I would be able to get this, and it's one that I mentioned just a minute ago, and it's one that like from the moment like I saw it in theaters, like I absolutely loved, and that's Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
That's what I meant.
I love her. I like the old one too.
Yeah.
Not the older ones because there are several adaptations, but the one from the 90s, I believe.
Yeah.
It's got Winona Ryder in
Yes,
it,
yes,
and yeah, that one's good too. But this one I love.
Yeah. She added so much to this telling of this Little Women story.
Yeah, and the way she structured it was great. And Saoirse Ronan is just so perfect in that role. And so yeah, that's my first pick. Probably not where you thought I would go, but I knew that I needed to snag it early, and it's one that I really, really do love. So
yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, where are you gonna go next?
I thought I would be able to grab that at some point because I thought you would start off with something else, or I didn't know what you would start with, but I was thinking like, oh, maybe me with Little Women, but I should have known that with Greta Gerwig, it'd be on the top of the brain. I'm going with a different take on writer. This movie is based off of writing of two characters writing to one another all throughout the film. You get to the end without the knowledge, without one character having the knowledge that the other was the writer all along. It's how they meet. It's how they fall in love. I am stealing You've Got Mail.
And technically, she is a writer.
Yeah,
she does
becomes
have
a
book at
children's
the
book
end.
writer. Yes, she does.
Yep. Yeah.
And just like, Little Women, it had previous iterations with like Shop Around the Corner from back in the day. And again, they were letter writers.
Which is great.
Yeah. So they wrote letters. These guys write emails, but it's all the same. And some of the writing in it is so, nice and poetic. And it's just such a good movie. Also, I thought, based off of the people we have in common, I feel as though that's going to help me get some votes in the long run. If your family's voting, that might help me out a lot because I know we all love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love You've Got Mail too. It's one of my favorite rom-coms, I would say.
Yeah.
Just like thinking about that genre.
Also directed by a woman, Nora Ephron.
There you go. Who's The Help directed by?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know that it's directed by a woman. It's written by a woman, I believe. Tate Taylor's the director.
Okay. Well, 2 out of the 3 so far directed by women. So little did we know we were going to be on theme there too. But probably won't stay on theme as far as that goes. Yeah, I have a really long list here. which I'm realizing is kind of working against me
Yeah.
because it's so hard to choose what to pick next. But I think I'm going to go with. Oh, it's so hard. I think I'm going to go with another movie that I think is really, really good. Um, it's one that's like a 10 out of 10 for me, by one of my favorite directors. And it is a little bit, it's not, this character is not a writer in the sense you would normally think, but he keeps a journal, and that
Okay.
serves as like a narrative, like a narration structure through the movie. And that's Taxi Driver. Um,
All right.
yeah, yeah, and it really is like that. That's the his journal entries are kind of the
Yeah.
framing device for the movie, and so in that sense, he is a writer, and it's plays an important role in how the movie plays out, and really like not just what not even I guess so much in what happens in the movie, but the giving you his perspective, and he does it. His writing actually is like not bad from what it is,
Yeah.
too. I would say, and so that's just one that I think is like just a masterpiece or close to it for a movie. So that's where I'm going with my second pick.
Okay.
Where are you going next?
My third pick, it's going to be a very classic movie, a big kind of jumping off point for several actors. I kind of put it on there with like Dazed and Confused, as like there's so many people in there once you go back and watch it. But
Yeah.
it is following a young, fresh writer as he writes for Rolling Stones. So I'm going with Almost Famous.
Very good pick. Yeah, I finally picked up on where you were going there towards the end. Yeah, it's a really fun movie.
Yeah, and so many people like
for sure.
Jimmy Fallon, Kate Hudson, Zooey Deschanel, all these people as just babies, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of where I want to go next.
Yeah.
So, like, I have picks that, like, I feel like are more like crowd pleasing picks
Of course.
that might do me better for the poll.
Uh-huh.
But I also have picks that like probably less people have seen, but that I really like.
Mhm.
And so that's the dilemma I'm in. And so like, do I want to please the crowd and win the poll, or do I want to
Be true to
put
yourself.
these movies? Yeah, be true to myself, but also put these movies out there so maybe someone
there you
might
go.
watch one. So if I'm gonna do that, I guess I'll start with one that is more accessible, meaning that probably pretty much anyone could watch it and enjoy it without having to think too hard, and that is a really sweet not a little, but a sweet movie called Sing Street. It's about. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
That's great. Yeah. So it's written by John Carney, who is probably more famous for the movie Once.
Yes, seen that as well.
That has Glenn Hansard and Marketa Irgulova,
Mm-hmm.
who I'm trying to think of they came out together as like a kind of music duo, and I'm blanking on the name of the group. But anyway, Sing Street is like this boy in Dublin growing up, and he has a band, and so like the writing portion is they write music.
True.
And it's like these very like 80s like pop rock songs that him and his friends are writing, and he like falls in love with a girl that's like older. He's kind of like maybe like preteen to like maybe 13 or 14, and she's kind of like feels like more like 17 years old, and so like he's trying to like impress this girl, and I don't know, I just love it. The songs are fun. The like he's very sweet as a character. Yeah, it just makes me smile. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I had to
Um,
watch it. It was
and
Irish,
so
so
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you liked it too.
yeah, I did like it. I think it's cute, and it's
Yeah,
just yeah, it's very 80s, it's very Irish. It's funny.
yeah, and it's just one. It's one of those movies that I just like smiled through the whole thing,
Yeah,
which is kind of rare, and so like I just love it. So I hope me mentioning that will make some
yeah,
people watch Sing Street.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. All right. What's your fourth pick gonna be?
Okay, so since you changed it up and went lesser known, mine is not lesser known, I would say, but I am gonna throw it old and classic movie. This was one of the movies that was referenced in Gilmore Girls and was one I think I originally saw it because I rented it from Blockbusters back in the day. But I love it. Starring Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell, I'm going with His Girl Friday, which is a
Okay.
classic movie about two writers for a paper and falling in love and bickering and falling out and back in love through their process of being in the newsroom together and getting the story and writing, and just it's such a bouncy old classic movie. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, that one is
It's definitely one that's been on my radar.
yeah, that's a great one, and just like a common reference, when there are two
Mm-hmm.
characters in any movie or TV show or book where they like bounce off each other, have a love hate relationship. It's the His Girl Friday kind of vibe, and you get understand why that's the reference when you watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go. It's my fourth pick
Okay.
now. Um, I'm gonna go with. Yeah. Okay. I think I know where I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with adaptation.
Okay.
Um, adaptation is it's starring Nick Cage famously in his dual role as twin brothers. It's directed by Spike Jones, but really like famously written by Charlie Kaufman, who's kind of more people probably are familiar with Being John Malkovich, which
Mhm. Yeah.
was written by Kaufman, directed by Spike Jones. But this one is actually like more. It has Meryl Streep in it, and Charlie Kaufman as a writer. It's really interesting as a writer to begin with. But this movie is basically like the character is named Charlie Kaufman.
Mhm.
Nick Cage's character, who's the main character, and so Charlie Kaufman loved this book written by Susan Orlean called like The Orchid something. I can't even remember what it's called. The Orchid Thief, about flowers, and it's he wanted to adapt it. It's not a work of fiction.
Mhm.
It's a work of nonfiction, but he wanted to adapt it into a movie, but he couldn't figure out how to adapt it into a movie, and so he just like wrote himself into it, and it's about the writing endeavor of trying to adapt something that's not adaptable, and just like this to me is Nick Cage's best performance as this kind of these dual characters, these twin brothers.
Yeah.
It's a really there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Meryl Streep plays the author of the book he's trying to adapt, and yeah, it's a really wild. Anything by Charlie Kaufman is really wild and out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think most people could watch this and appreciate it. But yeah, I love it. It's a great movie. So yeah, that's where I'm going with my first pick, adaptation.
Okay. I am gonna go with one that film bros would hate me for, but it was the very first thing that I thought of when I thought of writing. So I'm gonna go with Letters to Juliet, which is a classic 2010 rom com starring Amanda Seyfried and Vanessa Redgrave. And again, we've got letter
Great.
writing, which counts, including the women who are the secretaries of Juliet who respond to all of the brokenhearted. And then Amanda Seyfried ends up becoming a writer at the newspaper that she was just previously fact checker after this story and this journey she takes with this grandmother and grandson. So, I mean, it's cheesy and adorable and just an Italian summer dream. You gotta love it.
Great. I haven't seen it,
Ah, come
so
on.
I can't film bro and like critique you for it because I haven't seen it.
So there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so great pick, bad pick. I don't know. The people,
pick.
the people will decide.
I think the people will side with me.
Yeah. So, there's my next pick is probably going to be another one that not many people have seen,
Okay.
but it's by a director that I really love, Jim Jarmusch. This is I guess this would probably be one of his more popular movies. The other one being Only Lovers Left Alive, that stars Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston as vampires. But this movie that I'm picking is Patterson. It stars Adam Driver as the titular character Patterson, and living in the town of Patterson, New Jersey.
Okay.
And he is this bus driver that is an aspiring poet. And and so like on his bus route, whenever he's making stops, he pulls out his notebook and is writing poetry, and you kind of get some like annotated words across the screen, like of him writing his and like kind of dictating his poetry, narration style, I guess. And it's funny because like he lives this mundane life. He has a wife that they have a little bit of a rocky relationship, and it's very he's a bus driver. It's a very mundane life he lives. It's very like structured, his life. You kind of see through the movie the structure of his life, and but what's really interesting is like he's writing this poetry that is actually like really beautiful. Like you're hearing it and you're like, man, this is actually like really beautiful poetry and really like poignant. But you get the feeling that no one will ever know.
Yeah.
Because how can this guy who's a bus driver in Patterson, New Jersey, get his work out there? And so it's kind of, and then on top of that, a lot of people that are creatives in that way, like you always feel like your work isn't that great.
Yeah.
You're never satisfied. And so like he his wife kind of pushes him to keep writing, and but yeah, it's a really good movie. It just kind of like, I guess about that endeavor of like keeping on doing like what you are actually like gifted to do.
Yeah.
And I think on top of that, like Patterson, New Jersey is like the home of actually like a decent amount of famous like artists and poets.
Yeah.
And so like he has that like weighing over him of like, I'll never be this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good movie, and Adam Driver is in it. So that's kind of like my pull of like, if you haven't seen it, Adam Driver's in it. He's the main character. So
good,
go see it. Yeah, it really is. I loved it. I think it's my favorite Jim Jarmusch movie, and I've seen a decent amount of his. So yeah. Patterson.
Okay.
This is your sixth pick?
Yes, my sixth pick. I am going with a very emotional, very beautiful story, kind of about the like writing, what writing can do and how it can free you and how it can lead to kind of, I don't know, the betterment of yourself and understanding yourself. I'm going to go with Freedom Writers, the 2007 Hilary Swank classic. But really, definitely the first time I saw it, I feel like I didn't even see the full movie the first time. I think it was just on TV. But obviously just having these like kids who are just really in kind of the worst situation, growing up in kind of a hopeless, like, no, I'm just going to be you know, on the streets like my family, I'm going to end up in a horrible situation, but then giving them the encouragement to do something for themselves and giving them these journals and you know, leading them to write, like having those outlets. And like we were talking earlier about like the oppression of where you stand, but then giving someone an outlet to create and to work process through that, even if, you know, they don't become a famous artist. The, you know, the idea of hoping for the future because you have an outlet to process your situation is, you know, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually haven't seen Freedom Riders, but it's one of those movies that like you hear about and you feel like you've seen it
Yeah.
because you feel inspired just hearing about like the premise or the
Yeah.
like story behind it that inspired it. And so, yeah, it's definitely one of those like just inspiring movies that like, man, I haven't seen that, but I'm inspired just about by hearing about that story. You
Yeah.
know?
I feel like that's probably a movie that inspired a lot of people to become teachers or if you're are a teacher, they, you know, tell you to go watch that and, you know, do good and be
Yeah,
good for the world.
for sure. Okay, I have several. I always have several that I want to do, but
Yeah.
only like 2 picks left. So I think what I'm going to do is, man, it's so hard. I'm going to have to definitely give some honorable mentions
Yeah.
because I have a really long list. But I'm going to go with, oh, geez. I'm trying to look at how many films I have that are like actually writing and how many like I'm stretching.
Yeah.
But really, I'm not stretching. Taxi Driver was maybe the biggest stretch. The other ones are like largely about writing. So I feel like I can stretch a little bit. But man, so I'm gonna go with a very recent movie that came out last year that was really really good. I'm gonna go with Tar,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
starring Kate Blanchett.
Mhm.
She's a composer, writing. Um, well, she's a composer and largely a conductor.
Yeah.
So I would say it's it's a bit of a stretch because largely what she does is conduct. But there's a sense in which she is like taking a piece of music and like writing the way it sounds by the way she conducts.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a stretch, but I think she also does compose stuff technically. That character has composed her own stuff in the past too. So I guess maybe it's not that much of a stretch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think obviously like Kate Blanchett is just a powerhouse of an actress, and everything she does is fantastic. But this role is just like felt like it was like made for her. It was just like she was incredible in it. And it really is about, there's a degree to which it's about the systems around like that world of creating, and in this sense like writing or conducting, and like the power structures in place in those worlds too, and how like as you gain power, what do you do with it? So especially like as a creative that has so much influence on the culture. And so very 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 good movie. And that's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, so is this my last one?
Pick.
All right. I am just, I'm sure that other people will be able to tell based off my list that I do watch a lot of popular movies and I do watch a lot of rom-coms, and I'm just going to stay true to that because I do think it'll get me the popular vote. I don't know what your voting demographic looks like, but
I don't either.
I think for the masses, I might win just off of popularity or like name recognition. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna stick to true to me. So I'm going another rom com. 2003, Something's Gotta Give, starring Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and Keanu Reeves, and Frances McDormand's in there. So you're pulling it back with a
Hey,
Wes Anderson, like, tried and true. And it was also directed by a woman, Nancy Myers. So, we're just really
there you
tying it
go.
all together. But she, have you seen Something's Gotta Give?
I haven't, but
Okay.
I would like to.
Yeah, this one is
Um,
a
you know,
famous, rom com Nancy Myers movie. Um, Diane Keaton plays a playwright who, throughout the process of meeting Jack Nicholson and dealing with a lot of things, whether that's her daughter or these other men in her life, she is a playwright, and she also in the movie writes a play with some of the scenes that you have
mm,
witnessed as well, and that becomes funny, very entertaining for the crowd, and really hurtful to Jack Nicholson. But of course, it's a rom com, so
yeah,
it bounces back and forth. It's a good one. It's a classic
yeah,
one. So that's my going to be my last pick.
great. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jack Nicholson.
No.
Um, but yeah, he's one of those guys that like you think about like there, there's not many people that probably couldn't work in a Wes Anderson movie, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, would Jack Nicholson work in a Wes Anderson movie? I don't know. Maybe
He
not.
might be a little too much. Like, I don't know, the energy might not be
Yeah,
quite right.
right. Yeah, it's very interesting to think about. I think I saw someone asking on Twitter recently, like, what actor would not work in a Wes Anderson movie?
Yeah.
But I did not think about I didn't think about him. But yeah, Jack Nicholson. I don't know if he would work,
I don't know.
but he's not acting right now, so
We'll never
we'll
know.
never know. All right, my last pick. I have some other ones that I would really love to get on this list, but since we seem to be circling back around and
Yeah.
staying on theme with things we've been talking about, I'm gonna go with a documentary
Okay.
called "I Am Not Your Negro."
Okay.
It's about James Baldwin.
Oh, all right.
So it's directed by Raoul Peck, who is a Haitian filmmaker. He does a decent amount of documentary work.
Mm-hmm.
But this is he's basically like working from some text of James Baldwin's like unfinished work.
Mm-hmm.
James Baldwin had a novel that he never finished before he died, and he so he's working off of that unfinished novel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a reflection of what it is to be black in America.
Yeah.
And so it's based on Baldwin's work. It's actually narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then it has a lot of like archive footage of just like of James Baldwin, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of interviews with him, but obviously with big names like King Jr. and Malcolm X,
Yeah.
and Harry Belafonte. There's some archive footage of him, Sidney Poitier, Ray Charles. And so, yeah, it's just this documentary, and it's a very like, it's not like a straightforward documentary like you would think of.
Mm-hmm.
It very much sticks to the kind of like poetic eloquence that Baldwin had.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of like a collage of these, this footage of these Black Americans that were influential. And like when you put everything together, you really have a sense of just the I don't know, the injustice of it all.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's one that I feel like just sticking on. It's very much about a writer,
Yeah.
working off of James Baldwin's work.
Yeah.
And it circles back to the influence of the the character that Jeffrey Wright played in The French Dispatch, and Roebuck Wright. And so, yeah, I feel like that's a good
looky there,
coming full circle moment with the final pick of the draft. So that's our movie draft. Let's I'm gonna read back our pick.
Okay.
So Kara ended up with The Help, You've Got Mail, Almost Famous, His Girl Friday, Letters to Juliet, Freedom Riders, and Something's Gotta Give.
Mm-hmm.
I ended with Little Women, Taxi Driver, Sing Street, Adaptation, Patterson, Tar, and I Am Not Your Negro. And these are some good lists.
Yeah.
We'll put it out there and see what the people think. You definitely have some crowd pleasers.
Yeah.
And then, I think I have some for the cinephile, if you want to say that.
For sure. So we'll just see who the voters are, basically.
Yeah. We'll see if more people that you share it with vote for you, and your popular picks. But I mean, I got Little Women.
I know. I'm mad you stole Little Women. That for sure was going to be in there.
Yeah. And a lot of people know and like Taxi Driver too.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. And Tar has had, obviously it's very fresh on the brain, critically acclaimed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to get some movies out there that I wanted people to see with this one.
I get that.
I was less worried about winning the poll. So
well, hey,
if you win,
I want people to see all the movies that I just posted. They're all great.
Hey, there's some that I wanted to see that I haven't seen yet that maybe now I will. So great. That was our movie draft.
Hello again. Do you know how you can really support the show for free in just a few minutes or less? That's right. Just leave a rating and review on Spotify and Apple, or wherever you listen that might allow for ratings and reviews. These really help the visibility of the podcast. In fact, just hit that pause button right now and drop the review right now. And then you can get back to the show. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay. I trust that you went and left that rating and review now. Back to the show.
Well, that was a fun movie draft. Interesting lists we ended up with there. If my memory serves me right, Kara destroyed me. She had this Facebook army of rom-com lovers come out and just my biggest defeat ever in the history of the show on a poll for a movie draft. So, congrats, very belated congrats to Kara on that, for destroying me. But that was a fun movie draft. We'll be picking back up next week with our Spielberg series with Ready Player One. I already recorded it. Great conversation about that movie. Long conversation. It's one of our longer episodes, so buckle up for next week. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be quite the ride. But yeah, that is it for this week. I've been Eli Price, and you've been listening to The Establishing Shot. We will see you next time.
We were happy here. For a little while.
But look, I figure it this way. Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.